Hello guys. Hey, don't move guys, don't move. Come back here and we have something really exciting to talk about, and I trust it's something that is really going to leave you excited. And so today we are here to continue with our series on Kleptomania, our educational system. I trust so much that it's going to be exciting. Myself, I'm Ombele Marlon Anyeme, and I'm fondly called Dr. Catalyst. You surely do not want to miss this. So guys, share the link, all of you who are connected. Today we just have 2 minutes and then we're going to get the ball rolling. We want to understand our educational system, and we want to see how profitable the system is towards driving relevant change makers and towards creating a better world. Let's see how that comes up today and let's make it work, guys. I trust you all are there. Keep sharing the link, share on WhatsApp, share on Facebook, share on Instagram, share everywhere, and let's get the world connected. Let's get this rolling, guys. Yeah. So I'm sharing the link now, guys. Wherever you're connecting from, it's vital that you share the link. Let's get this rolling, guys. Let's get this rolling. It's going to be an exciting session. We desire that the session will be a brief one today. And yeah, let's get the world connected. Let's see how we can be able to make this a reality. We want to drive the change in our educational system, and that change starts with you. The change starts with you. So you can be the change that you want to see, right? You can be able to be that change that you want to see. So share the link everywhere across the world. Let's get the world connected. If you are there, just leave a comment. I see David Rich Boy all the way from Boya, man. Thank you so much for staying connected. I'm so excited to have you on the platform connected tonight. It's a great pleasure, brother. I'm glad to have you on the platform. Thank you so much. I see a lot of other people connecting now from other parts of the world, and for you all connecting, I say a very big thank you for you all connecting. Your support towards Eagle Mind, your support towards the vision, towards inciting a positive mentality in order to effect a positive reality. Your support has just been so immeasurable, and I stand today to say it's priceless, and we remain so appreciative of all that you do to keep this vision alive. We say a big thank you, and so pom, and thank you again. So please share the link. We have 1 more minute and then we are going to get it right into business, because we want to talk about Kleptomania, our educational system. Let's be able to see how our educational system, its functionalities, the positivities of the system, the limitations of the system, the negativities of the system. Let's be able to get it rolling, and I trust it's going to be an exciting session, guys. I see SG Pastor Charles Xavier connected all the way from Linde. Thank you, brother, and it's a great pleasure to have you connected on the platform, brother. Thank you so much for all the love, for all the support and everything, bro. It's been exciting all the way. So I see people connecting from different places around the world, and it's a great pleasure. So you could leave a thumbs up, you could do whatever you want, guys. Leave a comment. Let's know where you're calling from. Let's know your thoughts about our educational system, and yeah, it's going to be exciting today, guys. I'm on fire. You don't want to miss this, right? Yeah. So just to highlight on our program for today, we have a few key things that we really want to be able to articulate in our session today, right? Because we want to see more detail what an educational system really is. We want to understand what it means for something to be a kleptomania, and then we also want to see how diversity in the system limits excellence that the system presents. And then we want to look into Dr. Catalyst's law of equity. We want to look at Dr. Catalyst's law of equity. That's something you don't want to miss, right? Yeah, this is the first time you're hearing this law. Like, I've not presented that on any platform yet. So you're privileged to be here today to get it live. Dr. Catalyst's law of equity. And listen, if you can understand this, your life is going to be transformed forever. We can have a bet on that, right? If you can be able to understand the law of equity by Dr. Catalyst, then we'll be able to foster a maximum dimension of change. We're going to start harnessing your uniqueness, and yes, we are going to start seeing a better world. So truly, you don't want to miss this. Get connected, connect your friends from different parts of the world, share on your WhatsApp platforms, on groups and everything, and let's get the world connected. It's time for us to lead the change. We want to build a system that is very productive, right? You don't want to miss out on this. So I would like to know what you think in the comment section below about our educational system. What you think about our educational system. It's very vital because our thoughts matter, because the system is there to make us better. So our contributions are very vital as a feedback in order to help improve on the system and also to ensure that we are creating a better world. Remember, your actions today will determine the betterment of society tomorrow. So you do not want to be slack in that. So leave a comment. Let us know what you think about our educational system. Let's know what you think about the limitations of the system. Let's know what you think about the positivities of the system. And yes, everything that we can be able to talk about in that direction. So it will be a pleasure to have you share ideas on what you think the educational system is all about. But before you go into that, I'm starting in the next few split seconds. For those of you who don't know how to dance, guys, I'm in the mood. Okay, guys, so thank you all very much for being connected in our session today, and just to say that it's a great pleasure to have you all connected for our program today, and we trust that it's going to be a super exciting session, right? So we are going to be very brief with our session today, and we want you to pay your contributions. We want you to also pay your attention. And before we proceed into business, I want to say a big thank you for all of you who are connected on the platform. We do not take your participation for granted. This session was brought to you by the management of Eagle Mind, and it's a pleasure to present to you insights on how our educational system is functioning. So the title of this program is Kleptomania, our educational system. So I'm going to first begin by what an educational system really is. Remember, in our previous session, we exchanged ideas on that, and we settled on the fact that an educational system is similar to a production system. So if we want to understand an educational system, it becomes easier for us to present it as an educational system, as a production system, right? So we are going to look details at what a production system really is. And the reason why I'm moving it from an educational system and presenting it to you as a production system is to be able to ease understanding, because if we look at it as a production system, yes, we have already established on the fact that an educational system is also a production system, but an educational system focuses more on the processing of information, the processing of individuals through information and presenting a better version of individuals. And so we want to look at it in the sense of a production system which welcomes input in the form of raw materials, processes the input, and presents a finished product to the market. Remember, for a production system to be effective, that system must be able to meet the need of the client. And what is the need of a client? It is a problem that the client is facing. Therefore, the output of every production system should be a solution of a problem that a client is facing in order for that system to be a relevant system. So think about it. Is our educational system really a relevant system? Does it actually develop a solution to a problem that society is facing? Because in this case, where our educational system is the production system of focus, the society is the client. Is our educational system producing individuals of value, individuals who are solution providers, individuals who have the cute ability to be able to present effective solutions to the world's most pertinent and prevalent problems? Is our educational system really relevant? It's time to think about that. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. We're having an intercourse of ideas. I don't want it to be kind of a monologue. If I see your comments, I'm going to read it out, and it'll be a pleasure to have you guys connected. I appreciate all of you connecting all the way from, I see people connecting from Boya, from Limbe, and all that. Oh, my Changemaker #1. It's a pleasure having you on the program. Great pleasure having you. And many people who had to set go of their busy schedules to be connected with us. It's a pleasure having you on the program. So let's know what you think. Is our production system of focus, which is our educational system, is it really relevant? Does it enable individuals, or does it really complete the processing of individuals into finished products? In other words, better versions of themselves that makes them able to address society's problems. Because note, our educational system has to be able to enable individuals to solve society's problems, else the system is not relevant. And if it is not relevant, then it is not worthy of the inputs that we put in the system. So it is very vital to understand what an educational system is, and then how we can be able to direct our inputs into that system to be able to drive the kind of results that we want to see. So it's an amazing thing that we would really be talking about today, right, guys? So let's look at this more carefully now. So we already painted a good picture where we saw our educational system to be a production system, right? And we said that the educational system has to be able to process information, or to process the individual by feeding him or her with adequate and relevant information in order for that individual to become relevant within their society. And so when you are relevant in the society, it means you then have the ability to address a problem in the society. So far, when you look back, when you look inside within you, do you think you have the solution to some of the world's most pertinent problems? Oh, come on, guys, you have it. So here is why it's Ego Mind presenting this to you. We are an organization that specializes in improving on human potential and organizational potentials. And we believe that every individual has a unique skill, a unique gift, a unique talent, a unique potential, a unique seed, a unique ability that enables you to be a solution to at least one, if not multiple problems that the world really is facing. And so if you engage in a system that then reduces that ability to solve problems, then that system is becoming a kleptomania. It is making you seek priority for what is not of importance to you. So that's why we thought it was really relevant to look at our educational system. Does it come as a reinforcement, or it comes as or does it come with deductive abilities to reduce our focus on our individual strengths, on our focus by improving on engagement on multiple on multiple things, such that it deviates our focus completely from that single thing that we were really born to do? Because like I said earlier, every individual was born with a gift. And what is your gift? It is that one thing that you can do to the absolute best with the least amount of effort. Every individual has that in him or her. So anything or any engagement that you find yourself in life should come in as a reinforcement for that gift to find expression in you. If it doesn't enable your gift to find expression, then it is a theft of your time. It is a theft of your ability. And one thing that happens is you might not lose the ability over time, but you would have lost time that you would have invested that ability in order to produce the kind of results that you want to see. So while I was doing some really exciting research about educational systems and stuff, I stumbled on a very exciting write by a good friend who happens to be the coordinator of the Hall Prize Foundation in Nigeria, Mr. Mogaji Damilola. And what he said was that the area where you direct the flow of your energy determines the area where you would profit the show of results. So your area of flow of energy determines your area of show of results. So does our educational system deviate or create multiple deviations of our flow of energy? And could that really be the reason why maybe we have very limited results? Because trust me, I did some really exciting research and I came to understand that the world's best organizations, the world's best companies, what they do is they search for the top 10% of any sector to work with them. And so if the educational system does not grant you enough skill, enough attitude, enough improve on your mindset to grow your abilities to that top 10%, you risk never finding space within those existing organizations. And hey, you might be thinking it's about those who are seeking for jobs, and we live in a very entrepreneurial milieu, right? So I want you to think about this. It also does not just limit to those who are searching for jobs. It also goes up to the extent of those who create jobs or those who are presenting a particular service or product to society as entrepreneurs, right? Clients have a tendency of only approaching the top 10% of any sector, except in cases of financial limitations that they go down to search the bottom percentages. So, are you the top 10% of your sector? If you are not the top 10% of the sector of service that you find yourself, it might be time to ask yourself questions. Would clients really come to you? And if clients are not coming to you, it's time to really think again, like, could it be that you have so divided an attention that you're no longer commanding the attraction of those that demand the solution that you pose to be providing? It's time to really think deep about these things, because if we can be able to present the right solution, but not just the right solution, present this solution excellently, we'll be able to command the attention of our generations. But it doesn't end there. Our educational system has a great role to play, because come to think about it, research shows that over 90% of practitioners across every field of life have been engaged in one form of formal learning or the other. So it means the educational system has a pivotal role to play, either directly or indirectly, towards the formation of individuals within society. It therefore stands out to be paramount and very important, expedient, indispensable, and non-negotiable for us to be able to address the needs, to ensure that our educational system is actually meeting the purpose for which it was created. To be able to prune individuals, to prune their weaknesses, to be able to shape their strengths and grow them to excellent individuals who have the competence, the abilities, the potentials to face and solve, addressing some of the world's very pertinent problems. Are our educational systems addressing that? Let me see what you think about this in the comment section below. It's really going to be an exciting thing to have your thoughts on all this, because we think that if we do not address the limitations of our educational system, then a younger generation would suffer loss, because they would have to be forced, compelled, because come to think of it, it's now like a societal norm. And with low educational levels or with low engagement in educational levels, societies have been termed less developed worlds. which means that in our attempts to become more economically developed worlds, we attempted to improve engagement in the educational sector. But the challenge or big question we should be asking ourselves is, are these educational systems really working? Are they functional? Or are they just built on curriculums which are really not producing the kind of results that we want to see? It must not just be limited on thought. It must not just be limited on talks. It should not just be limited on a papered curriculum. We can be able to extend this to build efficient and effective structures that will not just be mechanistic. And by mechanistic, I mean we don't just want to build very standard structures that do not give any room for flexible adjustments as change happens, because we live in a world which is rapidly evolving. We live in a world which is rapidly improving and changing. The dynamics is so rapid now than ever before, such that we cannot afford to study a moving world using stagnant curriculums. We must be able to build flexible curriculums. And that's why a mechanistic educational system is no longer functional in a generation as this. We must be able to build an organic educational system. An organic educational system which is flexible. And by organic, it means that it addresses the very problems, the challenges in the grassroots, which means that those who are at the front line, the teachers, they have a pivotal role to play towards designing this curriculum. And the curriculums are not just a product of politics. We must be able to look back into the curriculum and ensure that these curriculums are not stagnant. Because come to think of it, as students enroll in institutions and the teachers have to supply their lesson notes to teach the students for a 9-month period within a 1 year, within a 1 year study season. They have to teach them for up to 9 months. They are expected to study and present their academic materials at the first 3 months of the study period, and they have to use those same materials to teach them across. We have to think about this again. We have to rethink the entire process, because within 9-month period, an organization like Apple, which is one of the world's most rapidly evolving technical organizations, produces at least 3 devices and publishes them into the market. Which means if we are assuming that we are studying based on the rate of production of some of the world's best organizations, it means we are two generations back per academic year. Per academic year, we are 2 generations back in technology. How then can we build sustainable systems that are really productive to drive the kind of change that we want? To be able to harness the potentials of individuals, to enable them to become a better version of themselves and become solution providers within the societies where they find themselves. How can we be able to build such systems? I want to know what you think about all of this. Could all what I'm saying be just bluffings? Could all what I'm saying really be important? Could it be something that is worth looking at? Could there be some adjustments that we could be able to make on our educational system? I want to really know what you think in the comment section below. And let's be able to have this intercourse of ideas so that together we can be able to build a system that really works towards developing individuals from the grassroots, towards enabling problem solvers within our educational systems, creating a synergy between the students and their faculty to improve on their productivity. How can we be able to do that? We have such a unique mind, a mind which has the capacity to send up to 100 trillion messages per second based on research, which means that if an individual has to harness that energy, you have the potential to serve an 8 billion people population up to 12,500,000 messages every second. But yet, you trap that same potential of mind within a classroom, and you limit that mind, and you kill that dream, and you mess up that destiny, until we are able to build an educational system that really addresses the needs of people in the grassroots, that is not driven by politics, An educational system that meets the 3 key objectives of an educational system that I'm going to share with you towards the end of this video. But first, before I go into that, I think it's important that I share with you on Dr. Catalyst's law of equity for educational excellence. This is the law of focus. It is the law of focus. You must build a certain sharpness. You must build a certain level of clarity, a certain level of focus on a single task in order to improve excellently in that particular task. Because one thing that happens is that distractions limit excellence. When you try to nurse seeds all around, it limits the level of excellence that you can be able to attain as an individual. It is therefore relevant. It is therefore so essential that we master Dr. Catalyst's law of equity in order to improve on our level of excellence. Remember earlier in the video, I made mention of the top 10% having access to most of the sectors. I'm sure you are in societies where you are in communities where there is an individual who has like 7 different employments. He has like 7 different payrolls. He has 7 different jobs. And then you don't have a job. The guy is good. The guy is good. The guy is really good. To attract that level of value, he has surfaced himself on the top 10%, such that everybody wants his service. But you don't have the skills to position yourself on that top 10%. How can you be able to grow yourself there? You have a skill, you have a gift, you have a unique potential, something that makes you unique, something that makes you beyond rival, something that sets you aside, something that makes you relevant in your time, something that makes you really rare. Until you are able to tap into that, you might keep looking for opportunities that no longer exist. Jobs come, jobs go. You might have to stay a little longer. We live in a world where we are losing jobs now in our systems than ever before. Robots are now almost taking over the work sector. Human capital is now minimized. Robotic capital is introduced into place, and there is need to rethink about all this, to develop something that makes you unique, something that you can be able to adapt on your own terms, to provide the solutions that you want to see for yourself. Because we believe that change is possible. We believe that a better life is possible, and it starts with you. The change that you want to see, it starts with you. You cannot focus your mind and your energy on distractions, because how then do you expect an individual? You are exposed to so much information at a preliminary stage of life, and the challenge is not the information you are exposed to, because that information is relevant to drive the change that you want to see. But the challenge is, how relevant is that information to build the individual that you want to be, and the limitation that information presents, because if you do not pass this, then you are not permitted to move to the next class. All of that information becomes a stumbling block. It becomes a barrier. It becomes a limiting criteria. Can we be able to redefine this whole thing and give access to whom access is due? You are due access. You need access. You need platform. You need exposure. You need experience. You need to improve on your knowledge. You need skills. You need to grow yourself. But the system is limiting you because of irrelevant material. How could you be limited in a particular stage because you didn't have a mastery of French language? How could you be limited because you didn't have a mastery of the English language? How could you be limited because you didn't have a mastery of biology, of maybe Turkish language, of maybe one language somewhere, when maybe you had a skill that communicates better than words? How could you even be limited in a class because you couldn't label a cockroach? How could you be limited in a class because you couldn't dissect a frog? How could you be limited in a particular I thought that was for doctors. I thought maybe this was reserved for some specialists in one sector of biology. How could you be limited for something that really didn't have a major role to play in your personal development? I think we need some scrutinization of our educational system, to review the curriculum and to not make the curriculum to become the reason why people don't make progress in life. And I know someone might be out there now thinking like, okay, maybe this guy is one of those failures who tried school and he couldn't make it through. It's not so. In my past 18 months of academic engagement, I made an A in every single course that I engaged in. I mean an A, and I was taking them at the rate of up to 6 courses per 4 months. And I made an A in every single one of them, including work experience, work placement. I made an A in everything. So it's not about maybe, it's not a personal thing. My grievance is towards the system. How can we build the system to produce the kind of results that we want? The kind of results that will give exposure for individuals, for young men and women out there who desire to build on one skill or the other, to not be limited because they don't have another skill. I think that we can build a system like that. A system that gives room for development. A system that can be able to bright spot. A system that bright spots. Bright spotting is the goal of education. It's the first point. That's the pivot. Until we are able to ensure that the system can bright spot. Listen, you must be able to identify the strong points of every individual within the educational system and see how we can be able to bring those uniqueness to the limelight and ensure that these kids have exposure. How can we be able to do that? Until the system can bright spot. So there are 3 key things which I'm going to share with you before there is a special offer that I'm going to present to you. Number 1, an excellent educational system is an educational system that ensures accessibility. How can we ensure that our educational system ensures accessibility in a world which is driven by economic strength? By reducing the economic entry into the educational system. Reduce the cost of education. What's this? What's all this? Reduce the cost of education and make it more accessible for others. Else we are just building a system which is run by the rich, preparing space for more of the rich. So we must be able to build an educational system that appreciates excellence and can be able to give openings, give room, give access for individuals. Give access for individuals. I spoke earlier about bright spotting. You know, one limitation of our educational system is that most of those engaged in the educational system, 80% by research shows that 80% of them had to engage in that system and their cost was either covered by a parent, by a scholarship, or by a government subsidy, which means they didn't have to feel the pain of what it costs to be able to enroll in an educational system or what it takes to get educated, which makes them to devalue education. And so it is not until government is able to build structures that reinforce that, that value of education, we are taking our societies nowhere. So it's not just about ensuring access, but improving on the quality so that people can appreciate the value. So after improving access, which is reducing the cost, the next is improving on the quality, better quality of education. Not this gibberish that people do around. We want a system that is communicating value, a system that is solving problems, a system that is addressing real life challenges, not a system that we are at point A, we are talking about one crazy thing somewhere else. Guys, let's build value, and value, one thing I know about value is that value is progressive. Value is progressive. How can we build value? We can be able to build value by addressing problems from within our communities. From within our communities. There's value that is for us. We must not copy value from the West to imitate it within our context. The West should not copy value from us to imitate it within their context. Education is not mimicking. It's not mimicking. We must be able to build some level of uniqueness. And that can only happen excellently if we follow the law of acuity, sharpness, keenness, precision, focus on a particular thing to produce results that terminate insult. And the final one is a system that is swift, a system that is smart, a system that responds fast to the change, because two things happen every day. We have a constant freezing and unfreezing of the system. There is times when the system becomes so mobile, so fast. How can our educational system adapt to this very rapidly evolving change? Opportunities come and go, yet in our schools we are studying the same opportunities that have long left. And they still compel you. You have to draw. As an engineer, your back has to hurt. I'm an engineer. My back doesn't have to hurt. I just noticed that in the work field. We must be able to build relevant educational systems that have access for all. First thing, very, very essential. Next, that has good quality, excellent quality, relevant education that is addressing problems. And an educational system that is swift, focusing on the realities and our perceptions to those realities. That's very vital. So I believe that ideas really make men dear, and after sharing ideas like this, together we can be able to build a system that really works. So let me know what you think in the comment section below, and make a suggestion on another segment that you want us to address in our upcoming sections. And it's going to be a great pleasure for us to have this intercourse of ideas, and let's together make the world a better place. Remember, the vision of Eagle Mind is to incite a positive mentality in order to effect a positive reality from within our societies. We believe that we can be able to do this through improving our skill set, improving our attitude set, and also improving our mindset, because mentality truly is everything. Remember that ideas make men dear. It was a pleasure hosting this session with you. But hey, before you leave, are you a business owner or do you run a startup? Eagle Mind presents to you our corporate advancement series. And the goal of this series is to ensure economic expansion, because we desire to improve the strategies of entrepreneurs within our sectors to ensure that we can be able to drive in up to 500 million francs CFA within the Cameroonian economy. We want to be able to generate this level of capital for startup entrepreneurs only, and for individuals who desire to engage into entrepreneurship. If you think that you can be a part of this, why not contact us on WhatsApp using the contact +237 678 832 910. I take the number again, +237 678 832 910. Contact us and let's together raise a new breed of entrepreneurs who are current with the solutions or the problems that are relevant for the timing. And let's together build a better world and make your dreams come true. We believe in positivity. We believe in change. We believe in you. We believe that your dream is possible. We believe that you deserve a chance. Remember that ideas make men dear. Peace. Thank you.